host of the Gridiron.
Let's see this. Interesting. Even Evan Neal could be on the move. Evan Neal. Well, I saw an article here that, you're not exactly sure. You always see these articles and everything. But I tell you, I can promise you one thing. I absolutely promise you one thing. Like what the Eagles, I can almost see the Eagles picking them up. And I'll tell you what, I would be absolutely shocked, right, if the Eagles didn't pick him up or something, or if they needed some, help, right? But I can almost guarantee you, right, if he goes someplace else, they'll probably move him into guard, and he'll probably do very, very well, especially if he has good coaching. Now, if you take like what Mekhi Becton did, right? He was at the Jets, did not do very well, and he got injured, right? He goes to the Eagles, he stays healthy. The Eagles just stay healthy. They don't get injured, right? They're very lucky. But they move him into guard. He has good coaching, and he has a fantastic season, right? He's a big guy, big, strong guy. He's not an NFL tackle, not an NFL quality tackle. Got to move him inside. That's what the Eagles did, right? Yeah, fantastic season, and now the dude's in the freaking Super Bowl. They probably don't want to win the Super Bowl, right? So, same thing. I can almost guarantee you, if Evan Neal was on the move, right? If the team has good coaching, right, they can almost guarantee they'll move him inside, put him in his guard, and just like so many other giant offensive linemen that leave here, go on to have a very good year or two or whatever it is the next season. I almost guarantee you that the Giants will let Evan Neal go. That would be the number 7 overall pick, and you don't even want to keep him. Where we at here? Is this? Here we go. Here we are. All right. Unexpected suitors could give Giants a way out of the Evan Neal experiment. Evan Neal could be on the move. Well, I said, the Giants, the Giants don't try him in his guard. I can't even talk. Unless he's just specifically saying, I'm not playing guard. I'm not. If he's specifically saying something like that, or whatever, I'm not. Nope, not happening. Okay, then maybe you move him or whatever or something. But then there's going to be people out there, going to say, well, we'll sign you, but you're playing guard. So he may not have any but choice. But I'm saying if he's just straight out saying, nope, not playing guard, I'm a tackle. Make me a tackle, so that I can maybe see that. But sometimes things like this, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. But Giants have plenty of big decisions to make this offseason. And one of them also, too, right, is not only they have to pick up the 5th-year option, I can't remember exactly what the date is, on Kayvon, who we're going to talk about a little bit there in our program here, but they have to make that decision. Are they going to pick up the 5th-year option? This is a big one on Evan Neal, right? So they have to make that decision before the start of their 4th year, right? Which would be this season right here. So I can't remember. It's like in July or June or exactly. But they have to make a decision if they're picking up this 5th-year option or not. That's going to be a big one, right? The former number 7 overall pick in 2022 has struggled to establish himself as a reliable starter. Now, he had a fantastic year this year, right? Run blocking. Fantastic. He was just bulldozing guys, right? He did very well. He was the best run blocking offensive lineman the Giants had this season. Pass blocking, not so much, right? But if he can't cope with like the probably almost the most freakish athletes on the, I don't want to say on the face of the earth, but maybe on the face of the earth, right? The guys, the tall guys, the long arms. I mean strong. They can, the 5 Ds of dodgeball. They can dodge, dive, dip, duck, and dodge. The 5 Ds of dodgeball. I mean, the way those guys can move, freakish athletes. It's not easy coping with guys like that. But you don't have to cope with guys like that for the most part, right? And when you're in a guard, right? You're a guard, you're across from a 3 technique, right? Sexy Dexy ain't fucking, excuse me, it's part of my language. He ain't dodging, diving, ducking, dipping, dodging. He ain't doing that. It's mano a mano, baby. Man on man, right? So, if they don't try him inside, I don't know. But let's see. And now, surprisingly, multiple teams, including the Rams, Houston Texans, and even the Eagles, are being linked as potential landing spots. You know, absolutely, without question. If he goes to the Eagles, boy, he'll be a fantastic, because their coach, Jeff Stoutland, I think his name is, awesome coach. So if he goes there, oh my God, he'll turn him into probably an all-pro. I mean, he will be fantastic. But it's coaching, right? It's a bit of a surprise considering Neal's underwhelming performance in New York. Injuries, poor technique, and an overall inability to consistently protect his quarterback has defined his career so far. But at just 24 years old, wow, there's still a belief that he might have untapped potential, just not with the Giants. With Jermaine Illuminor and Andrew Thomas already penciled in as the starting tackles, Neal's future in New York looks bleak. I don't know why they're not trying to guard, but General Manager Joe Schoen can get anything of value for him, whether it's a depth piece or a mid-round pick. It would be wise to explore a trade before his value drops even further. Evan Neal's trade market could be flushed with suitors. The idea of trading for Neal makes a lot of sense for the Giants. Bleacher Report put together a complete offseason trade guide for every team, and according to them, these 3 teams should take a chance on the former 7th overall pick. The Rams. There's a lot of uncertainty at both tackle positions for the Rams. Evan Neal played right tackle for the Giants, was on the left side in college. He could serve as the team's swing tackle next season and should be available for cheap. That was for the Rams. Now for the Texans, Evan Neal has been a disaster for the Giants, but tackles can take time to develop, and he is a former first rounder. Then with the Eagles. The Eagles could also take a shot on Evan Neal. His career is off to a shaky start in New York, but the same could be said of Mekhi Becton before he got to Philly. When Mekhi Becton got to Philly, watch out. The guy did a fantastic job. It remains to be seen if these teams have an actual interest, since this is purely speculative, but other teams around the league might convince themselves Neal is far from a finished product. Worst case scenario is he becomes a starting caliber lineman for another team. Oh well. Ultimately, the Giants would be lucky to get a trade done. Neal hasn't lived up to expectations, and with no clear path to starting in New York, his days in blue may be numbered. If a team like the Rams, Texans, or Eagles is willing to take a chance, Shane should be on the phone immediately. Well, I don't know who wrote this here, but Matt Sidney, whoever the heck that is, I have no idea. I mean, it said Evan Neal could be on the move, and then they come back at the bottom of that thing and say, this is just purely speculative. I'm just making all this up. So, people make up these articles, and you got morons like me that read them, and again, really, yeah. So, I wouldn't be giving up on Evan Neal, as I said once again. Who, what, where, what? I have no idea why he's not being tried in as guard. No, I don't know. His run blocking was very good last year. His pass blocking, not so much. So I don't know. I mean, did they think and just keep working on his craft, and all of a sudden he's going to I don't know. But I can almost guarantee you, like if he goes to another team, he'll probably do very well. Okay, a lot of it has to do with coaching. But I'm just kind of wondering, it's like, especially because if we don't have GVR coming back, I would like to, if he wants to come back, I'd bring Van Roten back. Absolutely. I would let Evan Neal and Van Roten try to battle it out for the right guard position. I would also make maybe Evan Neal could be a swing. Evan Neal could be a huge participant. I mean, because the way the Giants' offensive line, always gets injured, right? I mean, Evan Neal could be, possibly one of the swing tackles, or it could be the guard. Him and GVR can battle it out. Or if the Giants draft an offensive lineman, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. Or also, right, I did a couple videos on the guy Fries from the Colts. There's a couple other good players out there as well. But I'm just shocked at why the Giants are just not trying this guy in a guard. I mean, he seems to be very well in a phone booth, but once again, I'm not the coach. But it'd just be a shame you draft this dude, number 7, and then you want to trade him away for peanuts on the dollar. I mean, that just wouldn't make much sense to me.